And guys, it was gonna happen. It was bound to happen. Here, now that Mama was kicked out of the palace, the Jade Palace, he obviously missed Momo dearly, didn't want her to leave, didn't want her to get fired, didn't want to fire her. And of course, he couldn't read between the lines of what Momo was trying to do and stay at the palace. And so here he does something very bold and in a way that's like, very low key. He's pretty much saying that he has feelings for Momo. By, bro, this was pretty smart. This was pretty slick. I got to give it up to Jinshi for being this smooth. He was a very smooth operator, and I can't lie, bro. Hey, I'm just interested to see if this will actually work. A relationship between Momo and Jinshi. It's been hinted a lot that Jinshi is pretty much like the second in command or something to the Emperor. I'm not really too sure. And of course, Momo comes from like, I don't know, the pleasure house. I don't really. She's like an orphan, a war orphan, was she? I don't remember. Is that like a different anime? I think I'm getting animes mixed up here. But obviously her grandpa or dad, Mama was. I think that's her grandpa. Used to be a doctor or the Apocryphy back in the Jade Palace, and obviously one thing led to another. He was kicked out, so I'm guessing Mama was kicked. Well, you can see here, bro. He touched her lips where her lipstick's at, and then touched his lips. Bro, this was just such an obvious declaration, especially in public, especially in front of everybody that Momo knows, personally, and she grew up with. When she gets very flustered here, bro, this right here, this is how you want a gal to feel. This was the pivotal moment where I'm like, fuck, okay. Ugh. I don't know. It's just weird. It's just weird because, no, man, this can't be real. Like, I don't know if this relationship will work, or what do you guys think? Do you guys think this was an actual declaration of love, like where Jinshi really wants to marry Momo, wants to be in a serious relationship, or is this just a declaration of Jinshi just never want to let Momo go? This is like his actual like placing another pawn, but a very intimate pawn where he feels like she is his property. Like I don't really know anymore. Back in those days things were different. So I'm just very curious to see where this is gonna go. Look, like everyone just staring, like everyone, like, oh dear lord. Even the Jinshi's like Gaoshu, they call him Gaoshu. I don't know. He's like an officer or something. I don't know. Was watching as well and was very pleased with the sight. I honestly am not pleased one bit. Yeah, this dude in the back. This dude right here. He's over here cheesing. And then, of course, Momo was like, I can't make any sense of this. So, that's another thing that I'm really weirded out about. It's like, Momo, how dense could you be? Like, you can see here, Momo is just very, like, stupefied. She doesn't know what's going on. She can't make too sense of it. She's acting oblivious to the whole situation. So I don't think Momo can take Jinshi personally like that in a relationship. There's just so many questions. Like, is Momo ever gonna have feelings for Jinshi? Is Momo gonna try to still keep a low profile? Is she really gonna try to get closer to him, just for the sake of having a place to stay? Have steady income. And of course, in the previews, we see Jinshi paying off the Cortesian house, so pretty much buying out Momo. So it's not nothing spoiler. In the context of episode 12, so it's obvious that Jinshi wants Momo. It's obvious. But up to what extent can their relationship go? How far can they go? Can he just keep her as a piece? But at the same time, it's like, bro, you're a eunuch. He can never have kids. there's something else that's complicated right there. All right, like if you can't have kids, it's like why? Like I get it. Like I can get, you want to be in a relationship and not have ever kids ever. But 99.999% of people get in a relationship to have kids, to pass on their lineage. This is like 99% of people get in a relationship because of that. You know what I'm saying? They want to pass on their genes, they want to pass on their lineage, they want to create memories with their own families, things like this. So if you're a guy and you can't have kids, it's like devastating. So I don't know how Mama was gonna navigate this. If Mama even is interested in having kids, like that's definitely a factor to consider. But it's obvious that she doesn't give, like, it's not that she doesn't care about him. It's just that she doesn't have any of those intimate feelings towards him. But a lot of gals will get with somebody regardless of that, just for survival. You know what I'm saying? They will get in a relationship for survival, especially in these times. And these times, women will get, with, guys just for survival's sake. Not for love, not for intimacy, none of that. They just want a place. They can feel comfortable. They can feel safe. And of course, there's the other spectrum, right? High standards, high everything, but they want to have their cake and eat it too. You know what I'm saying? They want the best of both worlds, which is never going to happen. It's never going to happen. So yeah, this is just a very, I mean, I've seen a lot of romance, rom-coms, relationships, but this one's probably one of the most complex ones because there's just a hierarchy within it. And then of course, Jinshi is within the highest of the hierarchies, but of course you can't have kids. And of course Momo, she's just a servant gal. She's nothing. And I'm not sure if people like Jinshi and the eunuchs, they have to be with somebody within that hierarchy, but I'm not really sure because even one of the concubines was of low birth. I think, if I remember correctly, she was just like a merchant daughter or something along those lines. But yeah, you can see here. No, this wasn't even a preview. This was what? Hold on. Okay, so she's out there drinking her sake, and then boom. Wow, yeah, that wasn't even a preview. That was actually in the episode. Wow, I'm actually low-key shocked. I honestly didn't think that was actually like a preview. I thought that was just, that is, so things are moving pretty fucking quick. Yeah, things are moving quick. Jinshi is not playing around. He wants Momo in the palace for better or for worse. Momo does bring a lot to the table as just a mere servant. She's taste testing the food, for poisons. That's crazy as hell. Who would want to sign up for that job again? You know what I'm saying? This is again type shit. But Momo is just a very peculiar gal that would go back just to do that. You know what I'm saying? She has peculiar taste buds. One, who has taste buds for poison? So yeah, so you can see here Jinshi actually went there with like, bro, that's like how much gold is that? He pretty much bought Momo, as like a slave. You know what I'm saying? She's like a slave. He just bought, he brought gold and was like, yup, I'm buying her. And of course, brought Momo a gift, which was like what? Poison insect? I don't know what is that? A poisonous insect? Poisonous flower? It's like a combo of an insect and a flower. I don't know what that is. What is that? I don't think Google search is gonna. It's a herb growing from an insect. That's unique. That's very unique. He asks for a certain girl in return. Yeah, man, this really was huge. This was really such a game changer for Momo, for the plot, for the story, for the progression, for Jinshi himself. You can see everyone is delighted, everyone is happy about it, but of course, for Momo, she's just looking at them like, I'm sorry, but she's just looking at the materialistic things, and not looking at the more emotional part of this transaction. You know, she's just looking at the money transaction, the material transaction, but not the hype. You know, the what Jinshi wants. You know, now that Jinshi has bought off Momo, she's pretty much his fucking slave. So that's just a weird. I don't know, man. This just seems very weird to me. Will it work out? Where is this going? Is my predictions all wrong? What is going on and what is gonna happen? I have no idea. I'm gonna find that out right now. I'm gonna find that shit out right now. There's no stopping it. I need to find out.